Good morning. We're going to start a week of very exciting. I make a mistake for that. The Fusion 1, 2, 3 should take 2 weeks. But we don't know how we make it to 1 week. So you have a very compact and condensed Fusion 1, 2, 3. But you're going to get the essence. The whole essence is how you clear out the negative emotional inside you, and the organ energy can fuse into one energy, become a pearl. That is the whole thing. And this pearl can turn to anything. But now we want to turn this pearl into our immortal body, immortal child, immortal body. So the fusion means we take different energy and fuse them together. So we always, the Tao and universe, and is always working with the primordial sound, primordial light, primordial force. So this is what the West discovered. There are dark matter and dark energy. Now we know more about that because there's so many incredible cameras can take in the darkness and see all this. So that is the two forces in the universe, or we call pure yin and pure yang. And like David Hopkins, I think a lot of you know him, and he summed up to the thing that the ultimate consciousness, or we call pure Tao, the pure consciousness. Now, another book talking about this, every single cell in our body, they are using the violet light as a communicating light. We call ultraviolet communicating frequency. So they talk to each other and talk to the brain. They always need communication. So the ultraviolet frequency known as biosignal. And it write on the spiral of the DNA. And they discovered that if this light dismissed or not there, the light is not there. And this one, that means the light turned off. Now they actually turn themselves into a cancer cell. That means they think they are alone now in this whole body, whole universe. They are alone because they cannot talk to anybody. And they do, but they are very powerful and able cells, so they can make a big damage to us because they don't receive any information, so they do whatever they want. They want to build a building in the liver, they just dig it and build it. They do whatever they want. And they will go around and tell every single other cell, they will, when they have more people together, they will gang together and force the other people to turn off their violet light. Turn the other cell to violet light. And that means extinction, means finish. He put out all the light and the whole body gone. And that is cancer cell actually in the, now we know them, they are immortal cells. They don't die. They're not dying. But in our body, they think that all our brother and sister, don't kill them. And that's what the problem we have now. We cannot recognize them. So working divided light is very important. We're talking about holding the one from the first basic thing. Now we're going to go on furthermore holding the one. And the whole practice holding the one here actually is the beginning of forming the flower of life. So we learn to holding the one in the Dantian, in the Dantian fire that we learned from the beginning, Dantian fire. And the loving energy is the most important thing that we have. Love is light. Now when you multiply them with primordial light, now this loving light become multiplied many times and have tremendous power. And that's why Albert Einstein sent a letter to the daughter, open letter actually. So one of the biggest practice in the fusion is how to radiate our love and to neutralize the negative emotional. We're not killing them, we're not get rid of them, we're not suppress them. but we neutralize them with love. So we can train to have a positive thought, and this positive thought can make us happy and well. When we're constantly in a negative thought, it make us sick. So you need to have a training, not only philosophy and belief only, but philosophy and belief we call you understand something, but the next thing you have to do and practice something. If you want to overcome this, very simple. You need to train your mind by turning inwardly. Turning inwardly, not always outside. Smile and make your heart and organ happy, and train. You need practice, forgive, forget, and let go. It's a training, not only philosophy, not only understand things. So we can turn our mind, we can turn into stress and emotional by thought. By thought. เลื่อนหน่อย And you see, a conscious mind actually control us, and subconscious mind actually control us 95%, become a habit mind. It's a habit or bad habit mind. So a subconscious mind it control us 95%. So sometimes we don't conscious about it. When we often conscious of the stress and negative emotional, this will become turning into subconsciousness and become our habit mind. So we always feel stressed, feel emotional, and eventually your head is so heavy. So the heaviest burden that we carry are the thought in our head. It's so heavy. We can turn on stress and negative emotional by our thought, and we're going to get very sick. So the fusion of fire element is, I tell you, is one of my best practice of Tao's psychology practice. We don't make the organ work as a team. we call creating cycle, but in a negative emotional cycle. That means we are conflict inside us. So the kidney is water, and the heart is fire. So when the water want to put off the heart fire, that is a conflict. It's a big conflict. The fire try to melt down the metal, and there is another conflict. The lung, the metal, like an axe, like a knife, can cut down the wood. There is a lever, and now is a big conflict again. So we get and the wood, their collusion, the earth element. They take out the earth energy. And the earth can block the water, and the water cannot flow. Now we are all the organ conflict, or we call side effect. So you take one medicine to cure kidney, it may be affecting the heart. You take a heart medicine, you're affecting the lungs. You get a medicine to cure the lung, it will affecting the liver. Liver always affecting by all kind of organ problem. So in the fusion, we put the earth element in the middle, in the center. And now we have two pair of fighting each other. And so we have like heart, the kidney water and heart is one pair. If you bring them into the center, we call the pakwa, or we call the cauldron. Now they're neutralized by the earth element. We call neutralize. You neutralize them. Now, when the metal lungs cut the wood, if you bring them into the center, now they're helping each other. They don't fight out each other. So now each one help each one. So that is beginning of the fusion. So there are two pairs, and the spleen is always in the center. So we're going to go into the first part. We call activate the the Pakwa, activate the 5 elements and Pakwa. So the whole thing we work on the lower dantian, the whole abdominal area. And the West discovered this extra brain in here. So we know as the second brain, the second brain. And so we're going to be activate the Pakwa. So you have handbook. The handbook have this Pakwa Yang expansion. You have this chart there. So this is a chanting of the Tao practice. Tao have many chanting. And I choose this one because this one is very practical and very powerful. You know, one thing good about me, I learned a lot from many masters, but I have one ability to choose which one good. And I have wisdom to choose and make it happen. That is my specialty. So we're going to chant the Pakwa because the Pakwa is the Pakwa is one of the most important symbol that we have in this life. So the Pakwa. So this is the Pakwa in the center, and the many texts and research on this Pakwa. So actually, one of he's a neurology, and he cannot make a computer code, and he knows something, but he's not very sure until when he see the I Ching and the 64 hexagram. And they discovered Chinese used this at least few thousand years ago. And that is translated into 0 and 1. So 0 is broken line, 1 is one solid line. And it can go up to unlimited. Trillion and trillion and trillion and trillion. So this 64 hexagram, so it representing like in the West, triple condo in the coronation here, 3. Triple tablet condo. Okay, never mind. And the animal and the amino acid. All standing on this, and the most important part is binary number 000010101 binary number. And the total number of the H bonds. So so it's the earliest programming, and the Tao and the Chinese use that to programming, or we said recording all the history for thousand and thousand years. And they discovered that when we chant the Pakwa, is the love song of the DNA. So when we chant, feel love, feel joy, feel happy, and when you chant it, it activates the love song of DNA. The DNA cross over and make love and make more new cells. So there are many books talking about the DNA and the E gene. And the DNA and the genetic code, this is a very old book. So the chanting, so we're going to start chanting, and we start with the chanting of the Kwa. So so we're going to start with Khan. Khan, this is the pronunciation, Khan. Khan, Li. And on the right hand side, on the below the liver, right hand side, Zhen. You look at that because you're opposite you, okay? So right, so this right. So Zhen on the right hand side is under the liver, Zhen. Tui is on the left hand side, that is representing the metal lung. And Kun on the upper left, Kun, Kun. And Ken, lower right. And the upper right is Sun. And the lower left is the Qian, the heaven. So let chant together: Khan, Li, Zhen, Tui, Kun, Ken. Okay, Kun, Ken, Sun, Chen. Okay, again, now there are a cross and X. there are cross and X and the so maybe I think you have this version also. I don't know. Let's see. So okay, can't